This episode, we are back with Faith Life Music, but this one is very dear to my heart because we just released our third single, Woman of Faith. And I'm a woman. You might be watching as a woman, or maybe you're a young man or a husband or any male figure. You could still learn from this because you're going to interact with women. But another thing, it's March, and that means it's Women's Month. So this whole month, March, internationally, people celebrate women. Now in the world, it represents what women are able to do now, from voting rights that happened over the years to opportunities to have jobs, you name it. But I want to take a switch and talk about the woman of faith, and I want to celebrate and highlight a woman of faith. Like, if you've listened to the song now that it's out, it really talks about she's a woman of faith, called to be great, walks in patience and virtue, loves the Lord with a heart so true. That is just one of the many phrases in the song that just talks about her conduct. It talks about knowing who she is. It talks about that she doesn't worry about tomorrow, but she prays about it, that she walks by faith and not by sight. A lot of the things reading in the word, it's easier to read, but guess what? God is calling us also to be living examples, to shine our light as women of God. And to me, when I think about it, I have to say, God, I praise you because I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. Now, I don't always feel wonderfully, but he says praise, right? I praise you. And I want to continue to do that. Whether you're a wife, whether you're single, whether you're a daughter, whether you're a mother, whether you're a woman that has lived for decades and now you're pouring into other young women how to be simply women of God. What does that look like? And I think we have so much in the word to see, but one thing that I see in Proverbs, and we see it all the time, Proverbs 30, Proverbs 31, and that's verse 25, strength and dignity are her clothing, and she laughs at the time to come. She laughs in the sense she doesn't fear. She speaks, she thinks how it comes out, how it affects, how does it carry? Is it encouraging or is it hurting? Is it prideful? Is it Christ? But then also in verse 30, charm is deceitful and beauty is vain, but a woman who fears the Lord is to be praised. Guess what? Our looks will continue to fade, will continue to change. But I say beauty comes from within, and we see that directly in 1 Peter chapter 3. It says here in verse 3, do not let your adorning be external, the braiding of hair and the putting on of gold jewelry or the clothing you wear. It doesn't say you cannot have external things, but don't let that be your focus, right? Then in verse 4, but let your adorning be the hidden person of the heart with the imperishable beauty of a gentle and quiet spirit, which is in God's sight very, very precious. Now, gentle and quiet spirit, that means peaceful. That means not causing anger. That means humble. That means it's not just outrageous, but also think about the adorning of a woman. Right? Are you just so focused on your looks that you're consumed by it? That only if you have a certain look that you feel pretty? No, I think a woman on the inside that's gentle, that's quiet, that's encouraging, that's prayerful, that's loving, that's kind, that's gentle, that's patient, that's faithful. That is beauty. That penetrates so much more longer and further. That is character. Character that's rich, that's deep. So when I think about a woman of faith, I esteem to become one daily because I need him daily. It's a day-to-day walk to be a woman of faith. There's times I don't see it and I have to literally say, God, I trust you because I don't see it, but I believe it. I choose to hold on to you. You're my anchor. And I think that's what I want to just share with you today, to celebrate you as a woman of faith, a woman of God that stands on his word, that stands on his values, that lives by the Holy Spirit and not her flesh. That to me is a woman of Faith. Go check it out on all platforms now and check out the music video as well. I'm so thankful that you're here today, and I celebrate you this month of March as a woman of faith. Thank you for tuning in. Stay blessed and be a blessing.